This call is now being recorded.
This is a prepaid debit call from
Richard.
a prisoner at the Michigan Department of Corrections.
Richard, tell me, what would you like to share with us today?
Numerous things. Right now I'm currently housed at the G. Robert County Correctional Facility where the pandemic is just out of control. It's currently approximately 700 prisoners that have tested positive for the COVID-19. I'm currently on temp side, which is pole barn level 1 housing. And where I am, it's out of control with the sense of hygiene, the lack of sanitation. There isn't any social distancing. We can't social distance because there's approximately 160 prisoners in each unit, the size of a basketball court. And there's 8 prisoners to each cube. So there's no such thing as social distancing. The staff, they constantly come and shake us down utilizing the same gloves. They search our areas utilizing the same gloves. They're pouring out the bleach to where it's only water in the bleach containers. I myself, I've been tested twice within 1 week. The first time is when they done the whole prison. The second time is approximately a week later. I was having a headache, really bad headaches, and I wrote a medical kite to staff, to healthcare, So they took me to intake to screen me and decided to put me in segregation and isolation until, to test me. But while I was in segregation, I couldn't breathe because there was no ventilation. I was denied access to cleaning supply, denied access to the phone, and I wasn't frequently checked as far as nurse visits. After making complaints, the lieutenant had a nurse come and see me, and my pulse was at 120. It was really, really high. But, he said I was fine. Staff are infected, but the prison, they are rotating them. Out of the 6 units on temp side, 4 of them are quarantined as far as positive COVID patients. But the staff are rotating from the infected units into the non-infected unit, which is 2 units, TB and TF. There is no frequent cleaning as far as with the showers, because everything is in the community, the restrooms. None of that actually happens. I understand that they're telling society that we are being provided the opportunity to clean, and we're being provided with cleaning supply and all of these security measures that's actually being put in place. But that's not the truth. That's not what's actually going on. For instance, lately they've been moving prisoners that have been infected with the COVID-19 from the beginning that was sent to K unit. Now they're moving them into the unit that I'm in that's supposed to be non-negative cases. And since that has happened, numerous prisoners, other prisoners that was already housed, have contracted the virus as if they brought it here. One prisoner, as of Saturday, had to be taken out. He couldn't breathe, and now he's in ICU. They have put 2 people in his cubicle area that was in K unit that had already tested positive. Staff, they'll tell you, even the deputy warden is telling you, look, everyone's going to get it. You just have to wait your turn. If you make it, you make it. If you don't, you don't. And that's the kind of treatment that we're getting, to where we used to be able to go to the dining hall to eat. Now they have stopped that, and they are feeding us in the unit. There's nowhere to eat. So you went from actually being able to social distance in the dining hall to in the unit to where you cannot social distance whatsoever. So the pandemic is serious here, and the majority of the guys at this prison are going home. Everyone in level 1 is going home. We are the low risk to society, but yet we're being treated inhumane and sentenced to death. They're not recording to the public the death toll anymore. Ambulances are here every day, at least 3 or 4 ambulances. even staff who go to the hospital with these guys come back and tell us that, the prisoner didn't make it or, what's going on. But they only have G. Robert Conn Correctional Facility currently down for only 2 deaths. And that's inaccurate. It's definitely hard in here. It's, it's a fight. It's life and death. The only thing that we do know that works is social distancing, and it's remotely impossible for those of us that's not infected to socially distance from each other, knowing the severity of this pandemic and the COVID virus. About a week ago, they came and did the antibody testing. And still today, they still haven't given prisoners, their results for those that volunteered to test it. But something interesting happened during the test, and that was the National Guard came in and did it. And he had told the prisoner that was honestly close to where I was that, what you're doing is a good thing. You donating. And the prisoner looked at him and was like, donating? And the other guy spoke up, was like, no, you're not donating. We're just, drawing your blood to make sure that if you had it or if you didn't have it. So it's as if we're being treated as guinea pigs, and they just taking our blood. They purposely infecting us. There's no doubt about that. And it's like we don't know what to do, like we helpless. I myself wrote the governor, the lieutenant governor, and along with other prisoners in the attempt to bring awareness to the fact that our lives matter. And there are so many things that she can do to prevent the spread, to help perpetuate the social distancing, and it's like to no avail. No one has gotten back with us. And it's like people just waiting to die in here. They're waiting to die, and it's sad because a lot of us and people that want to report the symptoms, they send you to segregation, and they isolate you without property, and they treat you as if you're not human. So a lot of people, they hold when they symptoms are and not reporting them because of the treatment that you get. You are treated less than that of a human already. A lot of guys that have paroles, they keep pushing back their out dates for no apparent reason, but they tell society we are paroling this amount of people, this amount of people, this amount of people weekly. And, that's another concern to where they're not being released on their earliest release date, and they have paroles. When the time comes, a day or two before, they telling them, okay, we're going to keep you, for another week, or we extended it for 10 more days for no reason. And they constantly, like I said, moving people in on top of each other. It's just bad.
Richard, what if I were to tell you that this is just my opinion, by the way, that
okay,
based on my surveying of the information and the trajectory of things,
okay,
what if I were to tell you that I believe, this is just my belief, I don't believe it's political. It might be proper for them to release people and allow for social distancing for those who have to remain. But it's a political year, it's, election year. I don't think it's political. It's not in some people's political interest to allow social distancing and people to go free. I don't think it's profitable to people who make money on you all being there. Mm-hmm. And the more people they have there, the more money they can make. I think those are the motivating factors of why they're not allowing the depopulation and decarceration of these prisons and allowing people to live. I think they've decided that the science says that this many people will get infected, these many people may recover, these many people may die, and they've ran the numbers on it, and they decided to ride it out.
Which I definitely can believe that at the state of our lives. And I still believe that with the money being involved, if they were to release prisoners on community placement, for instance, Tether, it will still generate money. Probably is not as much as they're getting per head, $30,000, $33,000. But hypothetically, they're still losing prisoners at a high rate. It's still money down the drain. And it might not be political. I just feel like the governor, she's like the parent. We're in prison we were placed in here, which means she has obligation and a responsibility for our health and safety. And I believe and feel that she's ignoring the call in which she has to preserve our lives. It may not be, like there are even other prisons that she could possibly open. But the way that they're doing it, like at Cotton, how they just circulating the positive amongst the people that's not positive, is as if they are intentionally affecting us. And I know that somebody, she has to be aware of this. Her office, I myself have made complaints, my wife has made complaints, and nothing literally is being done about it. So if it's not political, it's, what is it? You know, if it's money, then I didn't know that our lives were worth the money that they're getting to warehouse us. Like, for instance, staff. They're not testing staff.
You have 1 minute remaining.
They're screening staff, no doubt about it. But the screens aren't accurate when it comes to symptomatic. A carrier can still pass the screen, and that's how it's being delivered to us.